Let's talk about customizing timesheets within BigTime. From your navigation bar, we're going to choose the Time and Expense module and choose Timesheets from our dropdown. In order to get into the back end of our timesheet to be able to customize the items that will appear, we need to simply click on the gear icon that appears next to a system administrator's name. This will take us into the back end so we can format our timesheet. Now, by default, we will always have project, and what we're seeing here is the field information, the column label, our drop-down list format, and our display name. Now, depending on how you have your project set up within BigTime will determine which columns you need to have appear on your timesheets. Because I am budgeting my projects, it is imperative that I have task set up as a column within my timesheet, so that way I'm able to track the tasks that my employees are working on. If you are budgeting, it is recommended that you always make this value should be required a selection. That way, when your employees are entering time into their timesheet, it will be required for them to save their timesheet. We'll go ahead and we'll click on Save. Now let's say that we're also using labor codes to generate our billing rates. So we would need to go ahead and click into the task column. We'll click on the plus sign here, and we're going to select labor code as a new column on our timesheet. Now we do have other options as well, but I normally go ahead and put those under Add Detail fields. If you need to add a pay item for QuickBooks Desktop Payroll, you can do that. And if you would also like to be able to put a class with your timestamp, that's also an available option. Moving on to the right-hand side of the screen, the first weekday will be the first weekday represented in your work week. Our submission periods, you can have weekly, bi-weekly, semi-monthly, or monthly. Entry rounding can be set at don't round to the nearest tenth of an hour, quarter of an hour, half hour, 1 hour, or half a day. Now, we also have the ability to lock our timesheets. And what that means for us is that if we are an employee and we forget to enter our timesheet on Friday with a weekly submission period, on Monday we will not be able to access that previous week's time. Many clients actually choose to not lock their timesheet period because it does enable the employee to be able to have more freedom when entering time. Detail fields are fields that will appear with our notes section on our timesheet. One of the things that I do recommend is adding the no charge functionality, which enables you and your employees to be able to state that this timestamp is not going to be billable towards the client. We have additional detail fields, such as pay item in class, which can also be added per timestamp. And then we also have show over under capacity after daily totals. So once we have our timesheet set up the way that we would like, we can simply click on Update Timesheet Format. And you can now see that we have labor code as one of our columns. In order to take a look at some of the other options that we have turned on, let's click on one of the line items on the timesheet. Now, if we move over to the actual time itself, you'll see that we now have the notes section, and we also have the ability to click on the radio button to say that this time is not billable and will not be pushed out towards our client. Now, any changes that you make on the timesheet are global changes, which means that that will affect all timesheets within the system. I hope this helps and hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks from BigTime.